Hey guys, what's up? This is Brett, Life on This Planet blog, also the band Audra, coming at you today with a special edition of my weekly Friday on the Turntable feature. As you may have noticed from the title, ranking David Bowie, what I'm endeavoring to do today is to rank in order of my favorite Bowie albums from 1969 to 1980. So really, we're talking about 1970s era David Bowie, which is just the prime era of David Bowie. Now, I did not include his debut album from 1967, the self-titled one debut with Uncle Arthur. I didn't include that one just because it's a bit different and almost separate from the 70s era Bowie. And then I didn't include any of the live albums, and I did not include Pinups, which was a covers album, just because it was not original material. And I included Scary Monsters from 1980 because it summed up kind of, like I said, that epic era of Bowie's music. So Scary Monsters was definitely included. I may or may not do a part 2 of this with 1983 all the way up until 2003. May or may not. We'll see. We'll see what the feedback is to this one. So anyways, why am I doing this? First off, occasionally these type of things will pop up on various music blogs. And they always come off to me written as if the person that is ranking the albums just kind of read the Cliff Notes version of these albums and didn't actually, listen to them. I grew up with these albums, all of these albums, and even though one of them will be ranked number 12, I still love that number 12 album. I love all of these 12 that are going to be featured here. So if you say, I can't believe you don't like that one, not true. I love all of these albums, okay? So what I had to decide is, how do I put these together? What my absolute favorite is, and how do I rank them? Very difficult. So if you guys are going to hate on any of these picks, what I'd like to see you do is in the comments section, or you can shoot me even a response video. I want you to rank them in order, number 12 to number 1, and let's see how you handle the task. Anyways, let's get started here. Number 12. Lodger, 1979. This was kind of the third in what's known as kind of the Berlin trilogy. Although I think this was primarily recorded in Switzerland. Lodger, probably my favorite track on there is the lead-off track, "Fantastic Voyage." I mean, this is a great album. It has "Boys Keep Swinging," "DJ," "Look Back in Anger," Red Sails, lots of cool stuff on this one. But yeah, that's my number 12. That's Lodger. All right, number 11, Young Americans from 1975. Another great album here. It's hard to put these in order, but I had to do it. My favorite song off this one is actually Fascination, the one he co-wrote with Luther Vandross. For those of you that don't know, Luther Vandross kind of got his start as a backup singer in David Bowie's band, but I think on the Diamond Dogs tour, and then he recorded with when Bowie recorded this one in Philadelphia in Young Americans there. But John Lennon also kind of makes an appearance on this one on Fame, and then Bowie also does a cover of Across the Universe on here. The title track, Young Americans, is excellent. Win, right. I mean, it's just a cool album. All right, let's keep going. Number 10. This might surprise people. Some people might rank this higher. This is what I'm feeling on it. Scary Monsters, or Scary Monsters and Super Creeps is the title track. This came out in 1980. Like I said earlier in my intro, this was kind of the end of the heyday of Bowie. Scary Monsters, of course, the Ashes to Ashes is an incredible song. Fashion. Probably my favorite track on this one is the first song on side B, Teenage Wildlife. It's just really emotional, really intense, and just really good. So that's Scary Monsters, and that comes in at number 10. All right, number 9, his Heroes, the second of the Berlin trilogy. Also the second Bowie album to be released in 1977. Now, in addition to releasing this album, there's another one on the list, obviously, which is Low, which was also released in 77. And not only did Bowie do those two albums at that time period, but he also produced and co-wrote Iggy Pop's The Idiot and Lust for Life, all in that same time frame. I mean, come on. Those 4 albums, which are 4 incredible albums, all in 1 year. That is Heroes. Of course, the title track is incredible. Sons of the Silent Age is another one that's just great, and Blackout. And then the first 4 songs on side B are instrumentals, and they're all really cool. So that is, and that was another Eno collaboration, and Robert Fripp plays on that one. So Heroes, number 9. Number 8, Space Oddity, also called Man of Words and Music, I think. Forgot the exact title of that one. But this came out in 1969. Space Oddity, title track on that one. What else? A Letter to Hermione, great track. Signet Committee, which is 9.5 minutes, just incredible. Memory of a Free Festival, The Wild-Eyed Boy from Free Cloud, An Occasional Dream, killer. If you got the deluxe edition of this on CD that was reissued, I know it from the Ryko one that came out, I think, in the early 90s. I got that when it came out, when they reissued that in the early 90s. And there was a bonus track on there, which was the B-side, I think, to was it The Prettiest Star? I could be wrong on that one. I can't remember what that was the B-side to. But Conversation Piece is just such an incredible song. It's not on the album. It's a B-side, but phenomenal song from that era of Bowie. So that's Space Oddity, and that comes in at number 8. Moving along to number 7. A lot of people say this is their favorite Bowie album. I love it. Like I said in my intro, I love all of these. That's The Man Who Sold the World. This is from 71. Now this actually, the album right before it was Space Oddity, so it was a completely different, just in a short period of time. It was kind of a whole reinvention of himself, as he has done throughout his career. But that's The Man Who Sold the World. Title track on that one, everyone knows that one. You got the big, long, epic 8-minute Width of a Circle, All the Madman, which is spectacular. The Superman, which is the closing track with a killer drum beat. After All, just great. And this was the first album to feature Mick Ronson and Mick Woodmansey, or Woody Woodmansey, who went on to be in The Spiders from Mars, which played on Hunky-Dory and Ziggy Stardust, and then Aladdin, Sane. And Tony Visconti produced this one, and he also played bass on it. So that's Man Who Sold the World, and that is number 7. Number 6, Station to Station, came out in 1976, immediately followed Young Americans and preceded Low. Really excellent album. There's only 6 tracks on this one. The really long Station to Station, which starts with that train going down the tracks into the station and just kind of pans across your stereo. Really great. Golden Years, which it's rumored Elvis Presley was going to do a cover of that before he passed away. Word on a Wing, which is my absolute favorite song on this one. Just a really emotional, just great vocals. I think there's this, or maybe it's Wild as the Wind has this killer drum fill in that one. That's excellent as well. Stay, TVC15, just a killer album. That's Station to Station, 1976, and that is number 6. All right, number 5. This looks kind of funny, but you will see that it's Low. Now, I have the actual cover of this one. The jacket is framed on my wall, which you guys in the vinyl community that are friends with me on Facebook, you will always see it in my posts. But Low was the first the Berlin trilogy. Bowie left LA to go live in Berlin and for a while and kind of kick it in Europe. to kind of get away from things there and kind of clean up his lifestyle with his friend Iggy Pop at the time. And so this was his first recording, or first album released during that time period, and that is Low. So I'll hold up the little CD jacket here. This is the Ryko edition of the CD, which has some bonus tracks on there as well. This is a really cool album because it started off that with the first side was kind of short, kind of very not unconventional songs with vocals, and then the second side was all instrumentals. And my favorite track on this one, there's two of them on here. One of them's Always Crashing in the Same Car, which is really excellent. And then A New Career in a New Town, which is an instrumental that has like a harmonica in it. It has this really, just, I don't know how to describe it other than it's really just an emotional music, really dynamic. So if you haven't heard that song, check it out. But this is Low. This is my number 5 pick. Let's keep going here. Getting down, top 5. Number 4, Aladdin Sane from 1973. You can see my gatefold here opens up with the full picture of Bowie. One of my friends, Larry, actually, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 years ago, gave me a whole Subway size poster of the Aladdin Sane album cover, which I should really have hanging up, which is just killer. So this was still, Bowie was still in his Ziggy Stardust phase, and it included Mike Garson on piano, who was playing on the Ziggy tour, who really brought this really just kind of like jazzy element, just really great piano playing, and you can really hear him featured on Time on this one, which has this really just this distinct sound. I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like this New Orleans, like, oh, I don't know. It's great. And then some other, Lady Grinning Soul, which is the closing track on this one. Spectacular. Drive-In Saturday, which has this really the 1950s kind of doo-wop sound to it. Cracked Actor, really intense. The Prettiest Star, Gene Genie's on this, and there's a cover of the Stones' Let's Spend the Night Together. That's Aladdin Sane, and that's my number 4 pick. All right, so this one may cause some controversy coming in at number 3, but that is Ziggy Stardust, or its full name, The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. My really worn copy here. There it is right there. I love this album. It's a 10, you know, but it's like, how do you rank 10s? You just got to figure out a way to do it and just see, if I had to pick an album, which one am I going to put on right now? And that's kind of how we kind of judge it there. So this came out in 72, 5 years, Moon Age Daydream, Starman, Incredible, Lady Stardust, of course Ziggy Stardust, Rock and Roll Suicide. You know, I'm doing a contest on my blog, and it's closing tracks, Rock and Roll Suicide, and even back on Lady Grinning Soul. A lot of these Bowie albums, he just really knows how to just come with just a really killer ending. And Rock and Roll Suicide, if you're familiar with the Bowie Ziggy Stardust farewell show, which is available on DVD, it was kind of Bowie killing off the Ziggy Stardust, and he ends the concert with Rock and Roll Suicide. And before the band starts it, he just announces, not only is this the last show of the tour, but it's the last show we'll ever do. And that's it. Ziggy Stardust is over. And it was the closing song for that era, and the closing song in the album. So that's Ziggy Stardust at number 3. Number 2, Hunky-Dory. This came out right before Ziggy Stardust. This came out in 71, and right after they finished recording it, 2 weeks, they went and recorded Ziggy Stardust. It was already written, so they already had all these songs ready to roll. This came out in 71, like I said. It was also the same year that Man Who Sold the World came out, so you can see back in the 70s, in the 80s and 60s, you know, bands, there was no 2, 3, 4 years to make an album. I mean, some of it was just back-to-back 6 months, and the next album came out. And bands were forced to you know, create. And if you think about what came out back then, look at Hendrix albums, look at Black Sabbath, look at Led Zeppelin, look at bands like U2 in the 80s that just put out just these incredible pieces of work in just such a short period of time. In such a short period of time. And this is Hunky-Dory, like I said, 1971. The Bewley Brothers is the closing track, another one. You have Andy Warhol, Changes, of course, Oh You Pretty Things, Life on Mars, which is just phenomenal, and Quicksand, of course, and Kooks, which is written for his son at the time as a baby, and yeah, just great. That is Hunky-Dory at number 2. So for those of you guys that are Bowie fanatics and you guys know what album is coming up next, it may surprise you, it may not surprise you, but my favorite David Bowie album is Diamond Dogs from 1974. A lot of the theme is based on George Orwell's 1984. Very dark record. The whole first side kind of centers around this long piece called Sweet Thing, which segues into Candidate and then wraps up again with the reprise of Sweet Thing. Just great. My favorite David Bowie song right there, probably my second favorite David Bowie song out of any of them, is on side 2, and that's We Are the Dead, which is just super dark and just great. 1984 is on there, Big Brother. It opens up with Future Legend, which is just kind of the spoken word with all these creepy sounds going on. Rebel Rebel was the hit on this one, as well as Diamond Dogs was kind of more of a minor hit. And then we also had Chant of the Ever-Circling Skeletal Family, which if you guys watched an earlier feature of my Friday on the Turntable, the album just ends with it's actually Brother he's saying, and it's just kind of looped, but it sounds like my name. So Herbie Flowers played bass on this one, and of course he played on Lou Reed's Walk on the Wild Side, and that accompanied album Transformer, and which was produced by Bowie and Mick Ronson. And Ansley Dunbar played drums on that one. So this is the first Bowie album also that did not feature any of the Spiders from Mars, Mick Ronson or any of those other guys. But anyways, I guess that about does it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little special segment here. Like I said, I'm a huge David Bowie fan, as you guys probably already know. So I'm curious to think what you guys thought of these rankings. If you'd like to submit a list to me, I'd love to see that. So leave me some feedback, and I'll be back next week with another edition of Friday on the Turntable. So please subscribe if you already haven't. Just click up on that button up top, and I'll also be back in a day or two with my weekly playlist and some recent vinyl finds. So I will talk to you guys later.